First question's from Alden Gonzalez. Go ahead, Alden.
Oh, wow. Hey, Clayton. I remember you talking during spring training about just how excited you were to play out a season with this group, and everything you guys could accomplish together. It actually seemed to really stick out then, even though a lot of the conversation at that time centered on the Astros investigation and any disappointment you had off that. I'm wondering if the circumstances of these last few months have sort of lessened your enthusiasm, both because of just how much shorter and how unconventional this season is going to be, but also just because of everything that's going on in this country right now that seems to be a lot bigger than this.
I'm trying to follow the question. I guess, to answer your question, I'm still very excited about starting opening day, especially when it didn't look very good for a while that we were going to get to play. So, I think just as far as the excitement of the season goes, very excited. Almost a sigh of relief, really, that, all the 3 months you spent working and trying to stay ready, and then the 3 weeks here trying to get ready for the season might actually pay off into some type of season. And, like you said, our team has a lot of special guys, a lot of special talent, and it's not going to look the same. It's going to be a lot different than we expected, but at the end of the day, it's still baseball, and I'm excited about that.
Next question is from Ken Gurnick. Go ahead, Ken.
Clayton, with all the differences because of so many things that have gone on, what are you finding, or what do you anticipate will be the biggest disruption in your normal routine in preparing for a game and actually pitching in a game?
Yeah, I think you just have to roll with the punches a little bit. You know that I am a creature of habit, to say the least, and like to keep things the same, and very routine oriented. But this year is going to be different, and I know that going into it. And there's going to be a new normal, and we're kind of getting used to that here. I think these 3 weeks are preparing us for what it might look like. And then we go on the road, though. It's going to be completely different. The road is going to be so much different than we expected, as far as how we eat, how we hang out at the field, what we do at the field, all those things. So to answer your question, I don't know, but I'm not the only one that's going to have to deal with it, and we're just gonna have to do it. This year's just going to have to accept it and deal with it.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead, Jorge.
Clay, and just off that, do you think your experience as being around as much as you have allows you to maybe make these adjustments and better absorb these differences and going out there and doing what you need to do?
I'm sorry, something about my experience maybe helping you with this?
Yeah, just like your experience being around for as long as you have, and does that allow for you to maybe handle this better than maybe you would as a younger player?
I think maybe in those circumstances, experience can help with certain things, but nobody's experienced what we're going through right now, and everybody's new at this to begin with. So I'm not sure if that plays too much of a role in it, but I think we all just have to be willing to adapt this year, and when we are, we're doing a good job of that. Guys are taking responsibility for that, and I think just the thought of being able to play a baseball game in the situation that our country's in is pretty cool to think about, that we actually have that opportunity. So, a few alternates to the routine is not going to kill us.
And how was it pitching here at Dodger Stadium with the fake crowd noise, the music, empty stands? How was that, and how did it compare to what you envisioned?
Yeah, it was quiet. It's definitely quiet. I think they're going to do a good job with the crowd noise. I think that's going to be welcomed by the guys. Because dead silence isn't great. It's just it just feels weird. So having just a little bit of crowd noise will be helpful. And it is. Fans make the game at the field. That's what's so fun about playing here, or playing on the road and hearing that atmosphere. The fans create that atmosphere. So that's going to be missed, no doubt. But we're going to have to do our best about it and do a good product out there.
Thank you.
Next question from Dave Dassay. Go ahead, Dave.
Greetings, Clayton. Just curious about where you are with your changeup. I know every spring you talk about trying to cultivate it. Have you had any more success this spring than others?
Hi, Dave. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel good with it. You know, I think good might not be the right word. I feel average with it. I'll probably use it. You know, I think Doc said too. It's not going to be a pitch where I'm throwing 25% of the time or something like that. But if there's situations that I can mix it in and throw it 5 to 10 times a game and make it something that at least is in the back of hitters' minds and a fourth pitch to think about. I mean, I think that would be the goal, and I think I have the ability to do that, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Next question is from JP Hornstra. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, Clayton, I wanted to ask you about the feedback that you've gotten on the Black Lives Matter video that you were instrumental in putting together. I can certainly say from my position on the outside, I haven't heard anything negative about it, but just within your circle, people who know you, who have known you for a long time, what's their reaction been to your involvement in getting active in that movement?
Well, I guess I don't know all the reactions. I don't read many of the comments or things like that. But talking with guys, talking with teammates, getting texts, just from people across the league and things like that, I think it's been welcomed. And that's not the reason to do it. Obviously, we did it because it was the right thing to do, and we believe that as a team, which is really cool to see. And it wasn't meant to be divisive. It wasn't meant to be political. It was just meant to acknowledge that Black Lives Matter. And I think we did a great job of representing that message. And I'm excited to see where it goes from here. And I'm thankful that we have a group of guys that were willing to do that and did that.
Thank you.
Next question is from Michael Duarte. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Clayton. Doc, earlier today, we were talking about opening day, and he said, under normal circumstances, there's a feeling in the air that day when you wake up, you see the staff and employees at Dodger Stadium, there's excitement and anticipation, and then you got 50,000 fans plus in the crowd for this big event they're all looking forward to. So what do you think it'll be like for you on Thursday in a completely different situation with no fans and no employees to a certain extent?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very different, obviously. Creating that excitement and that buzz is something that I've kind of thought about as to how to create that nervous energy that kind of gets you going, that adrenaline. And I think facing another team and understanding that the game counts will internally create some of that. It's obviously not going to be the same without fans here and things like that. But I think what we all have to understand and keep in mind is just how much people are excited. You hear about people that are so fired up just to watch a live sporting event on TV. And, that's where I am right now. Just I'm so thankful that there's golf tournaments every weekend just so I can watch a live sporting event. I'm just so excited to get to do that. And I think people will be equally as excited to do that with baseball. So it might not feel the same way in the stadium. It might not feel the same way, around here and seeing different people and, different things like that. But for the people watching at home and for, just anybody watching on TV, I think it'll mean something to them. Dodger fans that get to watch, I think it'll be a lot of excitement for them. And so we need to remember that. We need to remember that we go out there, that there still are a lot of people watching, and they still want us to win just as bad.
Thanks, Clayton, and good luck.
Another question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Clayton, just over the last couple of weeks, different guys have mentioned the possibility of you guys as players maybe having some rules in terms when you guys maybe go on the road or whatever, how you guys handle yourselves off the field, because given the fact that you guys would have to maybe police yourselves a little bit with the virus. I'm just wondering if you guys have made progress on that, if anything sort of formal has been done, or do you think it's necessary?
Yeah, I think we all kind of understand our situation. We understand that it's not just going to be like, hey, roll into town and go find somewhere to eat. It's just not going to be that way, and we know that. And we've, I think, for the most part, maybe other than going to grab coffee or something, we're probably pretty much going to be confined to the hotel on the road, and that's okay. You know, I think, you know, as long as you're outside, as long as you're wearing your mask, I think that's safe. We haven't talked about specific protocols yet as a team, but between what Major League Baseball has said and just kind of the social responsibility that we have, and I mean, honestly, like it's just kind of scary. You think about, like, man, if I go somewhere and get it and give it to my teammates and our season's ruined because of something stupid I did, that's a bad feeling. So you don't want to be that guy. And so I think just that pressure alone will keep guys from doing the responsible thing. And that's not to say some guys won't still get it, obviously, but you know, I think we're going to do everything we can to stay as, you know, safe as possible.
And just the first few weeks here, what do you think of the testing protocols with you guys specifically? And, you know, around the league, there's been a few hiccups. So what do you think overall how it's gone?
Well, I mean, I think the results, you know, speak for themselves. You know, obviously it's going to be different when we start going on the road, and it's just adding a whole new layer of people that you have to see and come in contact with. But, you know, I don't know the exact number, but it's under, you know, like 1% of all tests have come back positive since we started this. And that's a lot of tests. You know, that's double-digit 1,000 tests. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think everybody's doing their part. And, I mean, really the fact that we're even here a few days away from actually having a season, I think is a win for baseball in and of itself.
Thank you.
I have one final question from Dave Vassay. Go ahead, Dave.
Along those same lines, Clayton, as far as the training room and just what players need to recover to be able to go out there every day, have you seen a big difference in that? Do you think that's going to be an adjustment for everybody to try to find a way to recover quickly enough to be out there the next day?
You know, I think everybody is doing a good job of figuring out what they can do under the situation and circumstances. But, you know, if you wear a mask and you're around and you kind of get in and get out, and I think that the biggest thing is baseball guys like to kind of just sit around and hang out, and we're just not really doing that as much. And so I think that's been the biggest transition, I think, for most guys, is just not, if you're going to go hang out, go do it outside 6 feet apart. And, you know, we're doing that. But as far as like training room, weight room, all that stuff, we're getting the stuff we need to do, and we're figuring it out.